Hello and welcome everybody, what is going on? So this is MiaSanMiaTV and I just wanted to make a quick video on 5 things that we could change to get this season back on our row. Now, you know, a lot of people have been very negative, including myself, to be fair. And looking back at it, you know, you're looking at the match, I've just rewatched the match, and yeah, it was as bad as you initially thought. But there were a few good positives that, you know, that you might have not picked up on. So I was looking at the match and I was thinking, you know what? There are a few things that we can improve on, and there are a few things that could make this season become good. Because, as you guys know, a lot of people, not myself to be fair, a lot of people though, they expect to win every single game. They expect to win trebles this, treble here. They expect to win a Champions League every single season. Yeah, people are ambitious. People are ambitious. I am not one of those people. I am ambitious when it comes to titles, but for me what is much more important is a good football. I always say that for me the most important thing is good football. To me it doesn't even matter if we win every single match or if we lose every single match. Okay, that would matter to me if we lose every single match, but what really matters to me is good football. Now of course everyone is different, but there, you know, normally good football means you're getting trophies. That's just the way it is normally in a normal case. But thinking about the season, you know, thinking about what we're doing wrong right now, and thinking about 5 ways that we could change that. Here are my 5 ways that we could potentially change that and essentially play much better football, which obviously means much better trophies, I guess, in a way. Or much more trophies, I should say. So, number 1, change information. I think that's probably the most obvious one that everyone is kind of thinking of, that everyone is kind of guessing, and that is changing information. Because ultimately, you know, a lot of people have said that they don't like the 4-3-3. That right now we're looking very, very imbalanced. You know, you're looking at our style of play right now, and you're looking at it and you're thinking that is not really the way you should go. You have your wingers that just cross. Then you obviously have on the left you have Coman, and on the right you have, like, I'm taking today as an example, on the left you have Coman, on the right you have Robin, but then you don't have the partnership between Lewandowski and Müller. So you're lacking there. Then you look at the midfield today, for example, it wasn't really that good. A lot of positions, it requires so much of the fullbacks, and obviously it is quite difficult for fullbacks, especially for Lahm, because he's kind of old right now. Let's be realistic here. Lahm is kind of old right now, so it's kind of difficult for him to keep doing overlapping runs. Alaba not so much, because obviously he's still young, so he can run back and run forward. But there's a lot of, you know, the attack looks very disjointed. The attack to midfield looks very disjointed. I think MiaSanMiaTV did a very good a very good article on it, which basically summed up that we're kind of playing in like a V shape, like a W shape, and that we don't really have a link between the midfield and the striker. So we should really work on that. So that's all I'm saying. Formation, obviously a lot of people say that, oh, we need to play a 4-4-1-4, we need to play a 3-4-3, we need to play a 4-4-2, we need to play a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-1-2, a 4-1-3-2, a 4-1-2-3. So a lot of different formation that we could potentially play, and ultimately I'm not the right person to say which formation we should play. I personally, once Javi gets back or once Bachelor gets back, I would personally like to see like a 3-4-3. Just because, you know, I really liked us seeing us play it as a 3-4-3 in the second season of in the second Pep season. So I really like the way we played there. 4-4-2 is obviously probably 4-4-2 and 4-1-4-1 are probably the 2 formations that would probably work best with our players. But we'll see. We'll see, you know. But for training formation, that's an obvious one. So let's go on to number 2, and that is rotating players. Now, I've actually just noticed that today, and that's mainly because of the injuries and whatnot. But we've not really been rotating players that much. You're looking at Bernat and Rafinha. I know everyone hates on them. I don't. That's the funny thing. Everyone hates on them. I'm like, yeah, they're pretty good. You know, they're actually really good players. Really good squad players. So for me, you know, squad players need to play more. I'm not just talking. I'm talking in general right now. I'm talking about, you know, your second strikers or your third strikers, I guess you could say. Then your fullbacks, you know, your second fullbacks. Then other midfielders, maybe some youngsters. Because what that does is essentially, it's like, okay, it tells the main players, it tells, you know, the players that would normally be in the first squad. It tells them, okay, you know what, I'm not in the team. You're looking at prime example today, Renato Sanchez. You know, he has basically been on the fringe. You know, he hasn't been so far. He hasn't really established himself. You know, he came in for quite a big fee, which could obviously still rise a lot, but so far he hasn't been great. But then today he came on. You know, Carlo Ancelotti basically told him, okay, you know what, we're struggling right now. we need you. We need you. And that's exactly what he did. He was needed, and he showed that he's able to fulfill that role. So for me, just seeing that, it's like seeing that how much trusting a fringe. I don't like the word fringe player, but how much trusting a fringe player can really work. If you have some younger players come in, they're certainly to give it their all. Because right now, what I think is a main issue is our intensity, which I'm gonna go right over right now in point number 3. The third thing that we could change, that's the intensity. It's quite funny though, because I think that is something that gets mentioned every single week. Every single week it gets mentioned, our intensity wasn't good enough, our intensity wasn't this, our intensity wasn't that, we weren't intense enough, we weren't focused enough, we weren't determined enough, we weren't really going for it. But the thing is, if you keep saying that every single week, why are you not changing it? I'm not just talking about Carlo Ancelotti, I'm talking about the players itself, because he can put the players out on the field, even if he has a plan that works. If the players don't give 100%, that's not going to work. And let's be realistic here. So, intensity. How do you change intensity? I think there are 3 ways to do it. Considering I'm on point number 3, that makes sense. 3 ways to do it. First one, change the training. Change the training, have some different kind of training. The second way to change intensity is change the squad, which I kind of mentioned already. And the third way to change the intensity is to simply play players, and that's gonna be quite awkward to say, but simply play players out of position. Because if you play them out of position, they'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm not in my position right now. I need to focus. I need to be extra. I need to do what the coach is telling me, and I know it's a very risky move right now, because obviously we've had players like Müller play out of position, and he was kind of poor. Let's be realistic. He only played as a right winger, I should say, not right back. So you're looking at that, you're like, oh, yeah, that didn't really work out too well, did it? Now, but it could work for other players. It could work for, say. Okay, Alonso wouldn't really work out. I was gonna say play Alonso further up, but that really doesn't work. But like I said, just play players a little bit different. Don't change it too much, but play it where they're still comfortable playing, but where there's a little bit of, okay, you know what, I need to be extra focused today because I'm playing not in my regular position, but in a position I can still play. So that's the third point. The fourth point, and that one is, I guess you could say, probably the least important point so far. And that is to simply, and I think that's pretty obvious, simply lie. As easy as that. Simply lie. Right now we've had, we've been playing 4-3-3. We've been playing a certain set of system, and the thing that really bothers me is that normally, not always, but normally we know what the team is before the game. Not Ancelotti. I do like that. To be fair, I do like that, but he normally tells what the team is the day before or so, based on who has played well. And if you do that, you can, the opposition team, they can focus, they can work out, okay, you know what, they're going to play that player, we're going to play this player to counter that player. They're going to play this player, okay, we're going to play this defender. They're going to play that winger, okay, we're going to play that fullback. So we need to change it up a little bit. Just change it up a little bit, put a few lies there in the press conference. Be like, okay, you know what, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow Ribery is playing, and then when the game tomorrow starts, like Ribery's not in the squad. So something like that. Just change it up a little bit. Change it. I know, like I said, this is the least important point right now because it could work, but I don't see that doing too much of a difference. But ladies and gentlemen, the fifth point, and probably the least important point out of all, tied with number 4, I guess you could say, is the fact that we just simply need to play better. that is, I mean, that's just the way it works. How do you play better? By playing better. And how do you play better? Well, you play, you do more team-based exercises in training. You're looking at, I'd say the last 5 years, probably the last 6 years, I'd say actually, the last 7 years. Yeah, something along those lines. The last 7 years, around that time. We've been mainly doing team-based exercise. Now, that has been mainly with the ball, and well, especially the last 3 years, we've been mainly training with the ball, and that obviously gives the players a certain kind of confidence. They're like, okay, you know what, we've been training with the ball all the time, so we're gonna be able to play properly with the ball in the match. So to do that, we need to start doing more ball-based exercises in training. Because right now, if you're watching the trainings, not just at the Sebener Straße, but also on the YouTube channel, Yeah, we're doing a lot of training with the ball, but that's not all. We're doing quite a lot of training without the ball as well. And I've been a huge fan of training with the ball, just because I don't like, personally, I don't like training without the ball myself. So I kind of know, if you enjoy training, you're gonna enjoy football much more. And obviously that's where confidence comes from. And if you're confident, you're pretty good. Looking at Thiago, he's been pretty good so far. Let's be realistic here. He's obviously had a few bad games here and there, but overall as a whole, he's been pretty good, and that's because Thiago, he is a bundle of confidence. You look at every time he gets the ball, he always tries the flicks, he always tries the tricks, he always tries the samba skills, and it's just the confidence that comes from him, and that's why he has been looking so good. Not in all matches, but consistent, throughout the whole season so far. It's only been 11 matches or so. So confidence, which obviously improves the players, which obviously improves our play style, and which obviously improves our game. But that's just my 5 takes on how we could improve. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, you can rate, comment, subscribe, and peace out. Have a nice day. Bye.